This video shocked the entire world. You can clearly see a 9-year-old girl pregnant shopping with a man introduced as her husband but who looks like a 70-year-old old man. The footage sparked anger and outrage.
Are you looking for in the vagina of a 13-year-old girl? Like, I don't understand. Days ago, Somalia passed a law that they want to end child marriage. And within 24 hours, that law was revoked because the men kind of kicked against it, that no, it's their religion, they're not going to end child marriage. Men, what are you looking for in the vagina of a 13-year-old girl, an 11-year-old girl, a 12-year-old girl? You men are pedophiles. Simple. That is what you are. And you are hiding under religion to perpetrate crime and say it is your religion. Let me tell you, and this is what happened in most African countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Somalia, some part of Zimbabwe and the rest. I grew up in the northern part of Nigeria, and I'm going to tell you all a story. This is the same child marriage we have been shouting for since the 90s. It is not abolished because it's benefiting the men. It is benefiting the men. So the men have the audacity to come to say they are not going to end child marriage because it is their religion. What will a 13-year-old girl do for you as a wife? What will a 13-year-old girl do for you as a wife? At 13, some girls cannot wash their pants. They cannot bathe properly. Some girls have not attained menarche at 13. I was one of them. At 13, I was not menstruating. Some people are late bloomers. They did not have attained puberty on time. At 13, I was not menstruating. And this brings me to the story I'm going to tell you. When I was working in the northern part of Nigeria as a midwife, we've had cases, there's like it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. A girl come into the maternity or to the antenatal, she's pregnant, and you ask this girl, when is your last menstrual period? Because this is how you can tell how many weeks the pregnancy is by calculating from their last menstrual period. I'll tell you what, the girls don't know what is menses. Oh God. They don't know what is menses because these girls never menstruated. The very first time these girls will menstruate, like before they even start menstruating, they are married to these old men. And the very first time their body is going to produce an egg to become the menses, like, you understand? The very first time the body produces an egg, that man gets that child pregnant. And you come to the labor room to find girls that their reproductive system are not matured, pushing out babies. That is where you have cases like the fistulas, they are like the bladder and the vagina. What is it called? I forgot. The fistula, because their body is not wide enough. The reproductive system is not well developed to push out that baby. They end up having fistulas. These girls having prolonged labor. Some of them lose their life. The baby as well lose their life. Some of these girls go through psychosis and all. This is what men in Somalia and other parts of Africa are saying it should not be abolished. Men are pedophiles. You tell me nothing. Men, most men, they are pedophiles. If men should be allowed to do what they want with women, women have no place on earth. They will unalive all of us. If they want to, because as far as I'm concerned, a 13-year-old girl cannot make any decision for you as a wife. A 13 years, like even in normal biology, your brain, your frontal cortex, your brain is not fully developed until your early 20s. At least let's leave it at 20. That is what we can at least listen to, that you want to marry a 20-year-old, even though the person's brain is not fully developed, because it's at your mid or early 20s that your brain is fully developed. And we are still in 2025. Men are clamoring for child marriage, to marry 11 years, to marry 12 years, to marry 13-year-old girls. Because why? They want to dominate them. They are pedophiles. They don't want, oh Jesus. But I, Chukunonso Helen Uche, I am here standing in solidarity for all the young girls, all the girls all over the world, all the girls that are being tormented or being traded, because this is a trade given to men as child. I stand in solidarity to say, end child marriage. End child marriage. Allow the girl child breathe. The girl child is facing a whole lot. Leave the girl child alone to go to have an education, to live, to breathe like the boy child, because the girl child is as important as the boy child. I say it again, I stand, end child marriage.
Girl still has childhood. She's pregnant. What? This is betrayal. This is strange. Here are 2 facts about child marriage and where it happens. Number 1, child marriage is strongest where girls have the least choice. What? Places hit by poverty, low education, gender inequality. Yeah, right? Rural location, rural isolation. Formulas like these create child marriages. Number 2, when religion meets poverty, yeah, child marriage becomes the highest. Oftentimes religious leaders, they push it. When education goes up, poverty goes down, income goes up. Yeah, these aspects decreases child marriage. You know what else decreases these aspects? Even religion gets decreased.
Hi guys, this is Tina and you're welcome back to the channel. So for the first time in history, Somalians said no more girls child marriage. 9, 10, 12-year-old girls were finally at the age of freedom. Mothers cried, daughters smiled, the nation saw light at the end of the tunnel. But that light was about to be snuffed out. It was snuffed out. So let's dive in and see people's reactions to this.
shalay baarlamaanka wuxuu u soo saaray ama qolkii boqol muslim baan nahay aan waaye aabay culimadeena Soomaaliyeed dadkan waana rogayaan ilaahay ka cabsan karamaha 18 sano gaalay u qoran tahay caruurtooda ku qaangaaraan anaga inaan ku raacno ma aha nabiga.
Oh my gosh, Somalia just rejected its own law, reversed it. You can now marry a child and no more freedom of religion. Reason? Wild. Sheesh. Article 21, no marriage under 18. Rejected. They said Islam defines adulthood by maturity, not age. So if a girl hits puberty, marriage permissible, not at 18. Sheesh. So the primary reason to reject this, religion. That surprised me, I'm not gonna lie. Let's go to the next article. Article number 9, freedom of religion for children. Rejected. They said every Somali child is born Muslim. So choosing another faith, it's not freedom, it's betrayal. Yeah. Somalia, in all seriousness, I don't know if this looks good. Alright? The whole world was seeing you move forward, and then you stepped back and said, no freedom of religion and no age marriage limit. Reason? Religion. Yeah, I haven't comprehended this just yet. What's your thought on this?
Breaking news! This is huge!
My goodness, no U18 marriages. That sounds great.
Somalia has gone left, Somalia has gone liberal. This is bad.
I'm not understanding. Are you saying that they've gone liberal because they got rid of no underage marriages?
This is really, really bad. Let me explain. With these new laws, Somalia will no longer be 99.9% Muslim.
Okay, freedom of religion. God bless.
The government is pushing a new law of freedom of religion, meaning in the future you may see Somali Christians, Somali agnostics, Somali Jews, and even worse, Somali atheists.
Oh, I mean, all those are fine.
And they will also not be allowing marriages under the age of 18.
That's a W in your opinion, right?
So out with Islam and in with Western-made laws.
Wow, that's confidence. I mean, they say confidence is key. Your confidence to sit here and say it's a bad thing that children cannot be molested. That's f***ing crazy. That's a take to have.
A lot of people think this is going to solve the problems. If your country's 100% Muslim, there's not a lot of problems in that country.
There's a lot of problems in every country, regardless of their religious affiliation, especially if they're religious in general. But this sounds like an epic W, bro.
That's the most important thing. Believe it or not, we're here to worship Allah, and that's it.
I'm not. I don't. Apparently, you're here to worship Allah and also put children under 18 into very compromising positions since you're crying about age of consent laws being updated. Okay.
What will happen is there will be polytheism practiced in Somalia, and also zina will be on the rise. This is upsetting a lot of Somalis because their culture will not be preserved after these laws. The end is
The two things you brought up was that you don't have to be Muslim and you can't marry children. Those are your two strongest arguments. That's f***ing crazy that you consider that the preservation of culture, but okay.
definitely near. Question I have is what's next? Will they legalize alcohol? Once you
Oh no.
start adapting Western man-made laws, terrorists don't stop. And every single country that has these type of rules are absolutely degenerate.
I'm not trying to be that super conservative guy. Then why the fuck are you guys constantly fleeing to us? I don't. I'm not trying to be a. I mean, I'm fine with it. Come here, Muslim, anybody, come here as long as you do it, legally and securely. If you do it illegally, I mean, if you're doing it to support your family, I can respect that. But why the fuck you guys? There's so much migration coming to Western countries, not very much going away from them. So it seems silly that you're on us when we seem to be catching W's all the time, bro.
If you don't believe me, go check the stats.
The stats of what? I'll take addiction in Western countries over children marrying adults in whatever you're advocating for.
This video you're seeing here are videos of young girls that are not even up to age of 18, some of them 9, 10, 12, 11, getting married to older men that is 10 times older than them, or sometimes 20 years age gap. Now, the shocking thing is Somalia actually came to end child marriage. Guess what? You see this other man you're seeing on this other side started crying. Not only him, a lot of them went into the street protest for Somalia government to bring back child marriage. Guess what? In 24 hours, in less than 24 hours, that law was actually abolished that, yes, they can now continue to marry their younger ones. Because obviously, those are not wives. Those are children. They are getting married to children. You can imagine this man crying like a baby. So at this age, I should be telling him that, hello, sir, she is actually a baby. You should not get married to her. I think Somalia need to do better. Because what in the name of God is this? What in the name of God is this? And I am so ashamed of these men that they cannot close their legs just looking for small babies to get married to. In fact, women need to stand up to their rights because honestly, let it make sense to me. Look at their ages now. Let it make sense to me that women cannot actually come out as well, protest, roll on the floor, cry, and do every other thing for all of this to actually come to pass. Who is happy seeing their 9 years old getting pregnant, 12 years old, 13 years old, not even up to 18? Follow for more. Bye.
I keep seeing a video trending on my For You page of a grown-ass, old-ass man in Somalia that was literally bawling his eyes out crying over the fact that I guess they were trying to pass a law that outlawed child marriage, like in making the age of consent to be 18. And mind you, this dude looks like he's about 60, 70 years old. And he's literally crying, talking about 18 is too old. And it really got me to feeling like, honestly, like if you're a woman that's from there, if you're a girl that's from Somalia, like my heart goes out to you. Like anytime I see a girl, because I saw another video of a girl that was in Somalia that she was like crying because her family was forcing her to marry an old man. Like this dude was probably like 60, 70 years old. And she was probably like 12. Anytime I see stuff like that, it just makes me, not only does it make me cringe, but it really breaks my heart because why, like you're stripping a little girl of her childhood before she even gets to have one. Like she doesn't even get a chance to be a little girl. She doesn't get a chance you trying to make her into a wife before she even has a chance to be a child and an adolescent. Like you're literally destroying her life before she even gets one. And every time I see that, it just makes me so angry because I see like videos like that all the time. And I don't really be wanting to speak on it because honestly, it's not my culture, but it's my gender. And I remember being a 8, 9, 10 year old girl, 8, 9, 10 years old girl, and getting my menstrual cycle. And there was still nothing about me that was ready to be a wife at that age. You don't even know how to wipe your ass appropriately at that age. And you got to get married to some old, rusty, crusty, dusty fucking must ball smelling ass old man that's on top of you, and you don't even really know why he's putting you through all of this agonizing pain, and you got to live the rest of your life in your own version of hell, having to deal with this old ass man and having to raise kids when you still a kid yourself. I just can't even imagine it. And apparently they didn't pass the law, so apparently it's still going to be legal over there. So honestly, my heart goes out to y'all, like women over there. Like, the justification for it apparently has something to do with religion, Islam. It was said something about how I guess in the text it says age of maturity, but not necessarily a number, which to me, it's like, it just seems like all of these laws and rules and regulations, especially when it comes to religious law, is always just catered to whatever it is the man wants. It always has to do with a male and the male ego and the male sexual appetite. Everything is catered around what's best for the man and not the women and the children. And that's the part that really annoys me. And you know what? Matter of fact, hold on. Somali women, do y'all have life insurance policies over there? Do y'all do life insurance policies over there? Because if you do, I might have a plan for you.
Somalia is the worst country to be a girl. Not only do 99% of young girls undergo FGM, but 45% are forced into marriage before the age of 18 years old. 10% of girls are forced into marriage before the age of 15. Somalia is a patriarchal society where the rape of girls is celebrated rather than condemned. Somali women have few to no social and legal rights. Despite Somalia receiving millions in aid from the international community, it has failed to implement legislation to protect young girls. Somalia's lower house of parliament ratified the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child last week. The charter prohibits marriage under the age of 18. Somali women welcome the steps taken by the government and urge the upper house of parliament to approve the charter and for the president to sign it into law.
sharcigan la leeyahay baarlamaanka federaalka ayaa ansixiyey oo carruurtu waxay ku qaangaaraysaa 18 ama 18 sidaa u taqaano. waxaa waaye annaga haddaan nahay muslimiin muslimaad mu'miniin mu'minaad nama khuseeyo. waxaa dhacay annagu waxaan aaminsannahay shareecada islaamka oo warkii allah ah iyo warkii nabiga calayhi salaatu wasalaam. taas ayaan aaminsannahay. sharcigaanuna oo ah inay ciyaalku ku qaangaarayaan 18 sano shareecada islaamka waa baalmarsan yahay, wuu khilaafsan yahay, waa ka soo horjeedaa. saa darteed annaga nama khuseeyo muslimiin muslimaad mu'miniin mu'minaad haddaan nahay nama khuseeyo. cod dheer ayaana ku sheegayaa inuusan na khuseyn. maxaa dhacay shareecada islaamka ayuu ka soo horjeedaa. maxaa dhacay shareecada islaamku waxay leedahay waxaa waaye waxaa lagu qaangaarayaa calaamado la yidhaahdo calaamadaha qaangaarka. gabadhu haddii dhiig isku aragto iyadoo 9 sano 10 sano 11 sano jirto, hadday dhiig caadi isku aragto way qaangaartay. sidoo kale wiilka haddii uu riyoodo oo isku arka asigana waxaa waaye biyo uu isku arka asigana wuu qaangaaray asoon iyagoon weliba 15 aan gaarin.
mustaho waxaa kaa rabaa intaa joogtaa?
waxaan joogaa meel waxa la dhahaa
muqdisho. haye intaa ka imaatay deegaankaada intaa baya?
waxaan ka yimid meel waxa la dhahaa amaale.
intee ka imaatay?
tabeelaha meel dhahaa ka imaatay.
tabeelaha ka imaatay baadiyaheedana waa maaragtaa shabeellada dhexo u baahanteen. kana wallaahi gabadhan waa iska jeedin, wiilkan ay haysataa dhar la'aan. waa xataa asxaabta ninka maaragtaa wax ugu soo dadaala ugu soo kaalmeeyo. wallaahi ana maanta markaa arkay wallaahi waa ciishooda ma fahanteen. ciisho wallaahi bilaa ciisha qabatay. waa kana walaalayaal ummadda Soomaaliya maxamed wallaahi gabadhan waxa ugu soo kaalmeeyo ana qofka maaragtaa ilaa ugu darnaada ana wax loogu kaalmeeyo fiican.
ninka difur wax cunaan waay kureegite waa kaasa ninka difur wax cunaan waay.
So for one brief moment, every Somalian girl believed she could grow up before being married off. But behind closed doors, old men were plotting a reversal, and soon hope turned into heartbreak. Well, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please do well to like, share, and of course, subscribe to keep the channel moving. Till next time.